not at all.
Great to have you here, great to have you here.
Thanks for having me. Yeah, great, thanks, great.
First off, congratulations on that huge win last week. Wonderful, through to the semi-finals of the Heineken Cup. Well done. We should also congratulate Munster as well, right?
Sure,
yeah, and of course Connacht, because they reached the semis of the
Yeah, it's
the
great to
Ireland
have
Championship,
three provinces into European semi-finals.
Good nick, Irish rugby, isn't it?
It is, it's in a good place. Obviously, a little disappointing post Six Nations, finishing on a bad note. But it's important for the national team that the provinces do well. So the further as many provinces as possible can go in Europe, the better it is.
Now, I was at the RDS when you beat Clermont Auvergne. I mean, what a tight game that was. Unbelievable. The atmosphere was unbelievable. I would say as good as an international match there, actually. Yeah,
it was great. It really was. You could feel it. You could feel it running out onto the pitch. You could just feel. You can feel that intensity when the crowd, have been to their local brewery to warm up, and that's what Friday night games are all about. It's the more soup that's in the system, the more vocal people are, and we respond to the cheers of the support, and it can really stir you on.
Let's talk about the Grand Slam win. Just such a wonderful moment, and the way it lifted the whole country, and the country going through a bad time of late. Did you feel the weight of responsibility on your shoulders as captain of the team going into that game against Wales? That people wanted you to win so much just to lift the spirits of the nation. Did you sense that?
We just looked on it as something that, of course, we wanted to win it for the country, but we also wanted to win it for ourselves. We'd been the also-rans for years, and then we started winning Triple Crowns, and we got a lot of second-place finishes in the Six Nations, and we just could never quite do it. So it was just a case of, is it going to be our time? And thankfully, it finally did come around to us, and all good things come to those that wait. Well, we waited long enough. 61 years is a long old stint.
It's a bit of a wait, isn't it? It's a bit of a wait. What's it like in the dressing room after a big win, after a Heineken Cup win or a Grand Slam win? What's the
I think that's the really special feeling that you can't really put into words. It's just that sense of satisfaction, fulfillment that you've gone through a hard 80 minutes of slog for one another, and you've put yourself on the line, and the people sitting beside you have put their body on the line, and you don't even have to say anything sometimes. You just sit there, and there's an air of satisfaction. That is, I suppose, talking to some of the boys that have finished, that's the real feeling that they miss, is the 10 or 15 minutes where when the team comes in off the pitch and are just able to enjoy each other's company. That's a great feeling.
It must be very, very special, my word. Let's talk initiations, okay? Because anyone who's... Look at the snicker. You know what's coming. Anyone who's ever played rugby...
Initiations are for soccer players and not for rugby players.
They know rugby players do it. There was a mate of mine, no kidding. I'll tell you, do you want to know this?
Go on.
He started playing for a major university in Dublin that wasn't UCD. And it was in town just off Nassau Street. Okay. Do you know what his initiation was? This is terrible. I can't believe I'm even telling you this.
Okay.
He had to stick a chocolate bar in between his bottom cheeks, and one of his teammates had to eat it. You don't look surprised by that.
You got to think that the teammate's getting the raw deal rather than
Oh, no, he had to dip it in his cup of tea as well. I mean, it was horrific for the guy. What kind of initiations do you guys have?
Honestly, there used to be some stuff back in the day of when you got big milestones like 50 caps at international level. You used to get stripped and dragged through the mud and get some sticky spray that the boys put on their legs for line-outs and stuff, shoved in, put in certain places that it might be difficult to get out of. So other than that, we're a very sweet bunch to one another.
You've had sticky stuff
I haven't
sprayed up your jacksie.
I managed to miss that one.
Obviously, you can't do stuff like that anymore because the attention on the team is massive these days, and the attention on you. How are you dealing with being in the spotlight and the fame of it all? I mean, you've been doing it a long time now, of course, but how do you find it?
Yeah, fine. It's not something I overly think about or analyse and sit at home and worry about. You just get on with life and enjoy yourself.
I wonder how well you dealt with it initially, though, because when you know, your big breaking out scene for you was when you scored the hat-trick against France, and it was an unbelievable moment for you.
I'm so afraid where this is going.
No, it's all right. But, you know, you just, you know, you got a bit kind of rock and roll for a while, didn't you?
I suppose...
More rock than roll, in fairness.
You've as a professional rugby player, a lot of things are very structured, and you get told it's a bit like being in school again, that you're told to be, when you're in camp, you've got an itinerary, you have to do this, you have to be at that meeting, do that. So you kind of have to let your hair down a little bit when you're out and about. And I didn't really have that long hair at the time, so I decided to grow it and dye it blonde, just so I could let it down that little bit more.
Should we have a little look at that?
Well, I'm surprised.
There he is. Look at the big Irish red head on him. The big red face and the blonde hair.
Back on and you go, oh, you know, that wasn't the smartest move in the world, but it's all part of the learning curve, and maybe I'll say I don't regret anything I've done. Oh, there's a few things, of course, you regret, but you get on with it.
Yeah. You're all loved up now, of course, and you're getting married to the lovely Amy.
Well, I am.
She's a lovely lady.
She certainly
is.
is.
Very beautiful lady. Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. Little picture of you there. Are you familiar with the term punching above your weight? Are you?
She might come on this show and she won't be happy with you.
The thing about your wedding is you're going to be on tour. If you're fit, you're going to be off on tour with Ireland, New Zealand and Australia. You get back from Australia after a couple of big tests, 4 or 5 days before the wedding. Yeah.
Something like that.
Have you told her that?
Yeah, she knows that.
Does she know? Can you just tell me what her reaction was? How did she... Because that's not good, Brian.
Yeah,
Aussies pumping the head off you.
Yeah, we've booked 2 makeup artists. Any old excuse. But no, it's not ideal. Yeah, she was saying she was thinking of writing a letter to the Australian rugby team. You know, just not to touch the face. Anywhere lower is fine, but not the face. So, yeah, hopefully, fingers crossed, it'll be all okay.
You know what they're like? If they get a hint of the fact you're getting married, they'll just give you one for luck, a nice big shiner, won't they?
But a man that's made his career on TV, you know what wonders makeup can do. So.
Absolutely. He's got a point. And I don't mind saying I use the all-over body makeup as well.
You and Ronaldo.
Ronaldo. You're into twittering. I'm not that au fait with twittering or twitting.
I'm kind of into it. Yeah,
kind
I do
of?
it. Yeah, I don't do it that much anymore. I started with a bit of a bang, but yeah.
What do we call them? Tweets?
Tweets, yeah.
Tweets. Okay, this is where you go on and you send little messages.
Do you have some of my tweets?
I have some of your tweets.
Okay.
I have some of your tweets. It's when you send little messages and they go off and people can log in and see what you're up to, okay? And it gives a great insight to your life and how busy you are. This one particularly, I mean, the stress of your life is absolutely phenomenal. Listen to this. This is an average moment in Brian O'Driscoll's life. Laughing earlier, watched a squirrel try and drag an apple up a tree in the back garden. Do you have nothing better to be doing with your time, Brian?
Can I actually tell that's a little bit of a lie?
Go on.
Because Amy actually was in the house and she was writing some of her book and she looked out and saw this happening and she told me about it and I was there. That would be a brilliant tweet.
And you think that story is making this tweet better? It's not even your own thought.
I'm not capable of thoughts that good.
A lot of your tweets are about food. I think it's becoming obvious how big a role food plays in my life. I make no excuses for it. That's what he says. What are the pressures, Brian O'Driscoll? You know, when you're out with your mates, a lot of them won't be playing rugby anymore, and you're following a very strict diet. Do people help you out? Do they kind of say, oh, Brian, don't we all eat healthy? You know, do people eat bad stuff in front of you? Because that would be unfair, I think, to do that.
Go on.
So what do you know? How do you avoid the temptation?
That looks quite a nice cake as well.
You wouldn't like it.
No?
No, it's got chocolate and stuff in. So how do you follow the strict diet?
With incredible discipline.
Well,
One more back.
Gentlemen, Brian O'Driscoll.